Hello and welcome to DUELS Tabletop, and today we have a great match. It is again a bolt action game. I played a lot of systems other than bolt action lately, but I kinda returned and it is a great game. And today I'm just watching, I'm just a spectator, but the game was so stunning that I had to take pictures and I had to fill you in on this very dramatic battle report, because crazy things will happen in this match, and it shows me that of all the systems I've played, bolt action is one of the finest systems out there. And it's not just that I'm shilling for wallet games, it truly is. And I have to say that wallet games, Alessio Cavatore, Rick Priestley, they do things that maybe modern GW is not doing, and that is treating their people, their customer base fairly. And the second thing is writing a rule set that is kind of simple, but at the same time super deep and fun. And that is something that we want to play. I'm not saying that everything is good, because like Alex took some engineers and he wanted to plant an explosive charge, and there is a video, CERN Central made a video if the charges are good, and they're probably not good. Too complicated, but the base mechanics of this game and how it plays, it's just beautiful. And it's just like we started playing, or I started watching and assisting at 3 p.m. and we had to end at 10 p.m. and it was a crazy game, and there will be many great moments. And without further ado, let's start at the beginning. So I'm just watching. My friends invited me, but I don't have Soviets, and they wanted to play a big game of 3,000 points, Soviets versus Germans. Here are Alex with his Russians, and they look beautiful, metal miniatures, and we have also the micro arts Russian village, which is very beautiful, very cool. Here you see the good old sniper. So I come and they are already positioning the units. The Russians have a lot of forward deploying units, and Alex painted here even the pupils into the eyes, very good. Here is this Olga, and this one are the tank hunters. And here is where I started recording, because like I will show you in a second the armies of the Germans, but this little German Fallschirmjäger, Gebirgsjäger, just advanced 6 inches into the field, barely that he could shoot across the fields, like shooting from here to here, and you can't see him because he's not anymore here. But here there was a Russian sniper, I think it was this guy, and he was lurking here behind a field, which is not great, but he thought he would be safe. And so Rainer on this day, Rainer is a bit of an older guy, he said today is the day he will roll a bunch of 6s. I don't know, maybe he believes in voodoo or something like this. He comes in with his light mortar, rolls a 6. The pen -1 helps with the veterans, and Rainer rolls to wound, and he rolls a 5 and a 4, and it's enough. And the 2 snipers you can see here are vaporized. A great start to a great game. I will show you beautiful map. I will fill you in. So here's the second Russian sniper, a bunch of scouts hiding in the buildings. I have to say the micro art terrain is really fantastic. I think they bought the big bundle, and I don't know, a couple of $100, but they got a lot of good stuff. And I think these buildings are amazing. Like we got a lot of play out of them already with the French terrain. And now they got the Eastern Front terrain, and it's just amazing. And so, as you can see, you can get off the roof and put units in. You can also take off first and second floor and it's really, really cool. This one Mario painted up, which is really fantastic. A beautiful burnt out Russian tank. And so the Germans are getting onto the map. I will show you in a second the whole army, but I think that Steve did a great paint job on these. I think he has still to paint the bases and a couple of miniatures, but again, we're playing a lot of systems, so bold action, yeah, is getting made. And 1,500 points for Steve and for Rainer on the German side, and both are playing almost all veterans and a lot of Fallschirmjäger. Rainer always takes his Fallschirmjäger out, his veterans. He just plays veterans, nothing else he likes. And that's good. Like everything he takes, it's all veteran, all the mortars, all everything, and it's pretty funny. So he got his assault rifles here, MMG. He got a medium mortar with a spotter. He got a heavy mortar, and they will do a lot of work. And then these guys, I think, are officers, and we'll see what else. And also he brought his Panzer IV as a Panzer Ass, veteran Panzer Ass, and a Kübelwagen, and they will do a lot of work. And I think he has also like 1-2 flamethrower teams which will footslog, so he will just let them run along. And then we come to Steve's army, and Steve has brought a force, which you can see here, and he brought a veteran Tiger. Why not? And I think this one is the Sonderkraftfahrzeug with the 3 autocannons. I think he kit bashed it. Why not? Painted up, you will not see it. And I think also Fallschirmjäger with assault rifles, the Fallschirmjäger assault rifle here, his Snap 5 commander, and here some German infantry to go along the way. And I think this one, maybe officers, yeah, I think Fallschirmjäger, and here 1 MMG team on a 60mm base, and here 1 MMG team where the 3 individual dudes are running pretty beautifully. And I think both German forces have 1 artillery observer, so there will come 2 artillery strikes, and also a Panzerschreck, 24 inches of range, Pen 6, I think. And yeah, here the artillery and the Russians are pouring into the map, as you can see, with a run order. And here snipers firing at spotters, but I think this one just I think he hits the spotter, but he then rolls just a 1 or a 2, so it's not enough. As you can see, everything is getting deployed on the map. Again, not yet fully painted, but this is the beautiful map. And another thing is also what I like. I don't want to bash all the time 40k, but that's lately a bit of like, we're playing a bunch of 40k, and then we're playing also other systems, and peak amongst them definitely bold action, and maybe even like my main system, although I'm looking also at other war games, warlord systems. But as you can see, they just took the buildings, they did put them down where they thought they would fit or look good, rolled up 1 central road, put down some barrels, some crates, a bunch of trees. The trees here are not dense terrain. It is just trees, and you can run through them, and they just give soft cover, which is great. Like, it is pretty great. The rest gives all hard covers, no real walls. Here, this one gives hard cover, and maybe these ones. And I think you have a slight advantage on this side, because like you got more cover, and whoever will deploy here on the field is a bit screwed, because you have to advance in, advance out, or run around it. But yeah, I think that's the way it is. Sometimes at bold action you have to play also the terrain, and I think that's a good thing. I think you don't need always everything to be evenly distributed, although I think you need equal amounts of cover. So, but yeah, we'll see how this will go. So still, it looks beautiful. That's also a great point. And here you got the beautiful Russian church on the Eastern Front, and it just looks amazing, as you can see. German troops coming in, and I think there are forward deployed. Here some Russian scouts and some Russian scouts that went into the building. I don't know why they went into the building, but now they're getting pinned up, and I think they also roll a 1, although they would have a cover save of 4+, plus 1 infiltrate on 3 up, but that's it. Like, veterans will also die if you roll low dices. But as you can see, the Russian forces have an IS-2 heavy tank, 10+ armor, I think 7+ penetration. Here you got your typical T model, a 58 with 6+ penetration and 9+ armor, and also this one gives off flames. Alex brought a KATYUSHA, and also he brought his beautiful Soviet battalion. I think they are kit bashed from the new Russian infantry, and I think the dogs are from the War Games Atlantic sentries. We did split a box, I think, of Russians and War Games Atlantic sentries. And so here he uses the sentries, the German sentries, for his German or Russian Straf battalion, or Strafbataillon, how we say it in German. And yeah, I think they look great. Looking forward to paint mine, and also to put some dogs on the bases. I mean, this is cool. Alex pointed out how this guy is holding his cigarette very casually while he's screaming at the people, and then of course your commissar with the Luger, and people or commissars or NKDV with dogs and beating sticks. I mean, it has definitely character. Then his NKDV 5-man squad regular with SMGs. The guy with a flag, I guess 12-inch bubble. If you can see the flag with your eyes, if you're this guy and you can see it, it gives you +1 morale. And he has also a company commander, 2 AT rifles, and a bunch of stuff. As you can see, Alex doesn't have a lot of space, so he's flooding the board behind the church. That's the only way, or or kind of where it's covered. So that's where he's flooding the board. But he's definitely vulnerable for artillery attacks. But again, he plays the Russian. I mean, he is Russian, and he plays the Russians that way. And he says he doesn't care about his people. Only thing they have to do is run forward and not an inch backward. Take that with a grain of salt. And the German troops are also now flooding into the board. Definitely very carefully, different mentality here. Advancing all veterans, all special weapons, all very, very trained, trained well equipped, very careful, using every inch of cover. And so you can see here the MMG team is kinda covering this flank, the right flank, and here a Kübelwagen comes up because the Russians took a captured Hanomag. Alex doesn't have a soft-skinned truck yet, so he used a German model, but this should be a Russian truck, maybe a gas, or I don't know how they called. So in this truck, a soft-skinned vehicle, there are 2 units of body armor engineers that are killed only on or wounded only on a 6+, and an officer. And what he did, he took this truck and run it 24 inches up the board, so he reached the middle of the board. He said, if they die here, I don't care. After they go down and clear their pins, they are still in the enemy territory in the face where they should be. So the Kübelwagen opens the fire on the truck, I would say, and manages to pin it, but doesn't manage to get a 6 for the soft-skinned. So this is what it is right now. The Tiger enters the game and takes aim at a BA-70 from the Russians. As you can see here, Germans are flooding the board. I think a lot of them have also fieldcraft, and so a lot of run orders, everybody just trying to get to the middle. So the Tiger takes his aim, hits only on a 5-up and hits the BA, penetrates it because this one is a Panzer S, so he gets a Panzer S. Panzer Ace, and from a 7+ to an 8+, so on a 2-up, because this is just a 7-up. And then on the damage table it goes one higher, but I think he rolls a 5, and this thing is just burning. And so Alex is bringing in his IS-2. He's thinking about dueling the Tiger, but I think I give him the advice that he doesn't need to duel the Tiger. He can just bully German infantry, and that's what he does. He opens fire with his HE3 template on the MMG team and wants them gone, but doesn't manage to hit a 5 or roll a 5. And then with his HMG and MMG, I think he has one or two. He's trying to get the soft-skinned car, but I think nothing but a pin. And as you can see here, those rifles advancing in and shooting at infantry because the Tiger is way up here. And as you can see, the Tiger just shot there. So Kübelwagen, I think, taking a pin. These guys, nothing. And then the Panzer IV Panzer Ace arrives at the board. It's not an ambush, it's on advance. Reiner always says what he does and then puts the dice down without it showing the right order. He's an older guy, so why not? And so the Panzer IV opens fire, hits only on a 5, and he manages to roll the 5, and then he hits to penetrate. It's a 6 against the 7, so it's a 4 to glance, but because he's a Panzer Ace, it's a 3 to glance. And then I think he rolls a 5, he rolls a 6, and the IS-2 just goes up in flames, and the Russian morale has taken some serious hits. Alex definitely ranting, definitely ranting, but he's hoping that the Katyusha can do some work. We're now in round 2, and Alex gets the first dice, and he's thinking, what can he do? And because they're all bunched up right here, a bunch of units, he takes a shot with a Katyusha on these units, and everything within 6 inches will get HE3 template hit if he rolls a 6. So he rolls for these guys, and luckily he gets a 6. He rolls for the Tiger, and he luckily gets a 6. And he rolls for a bunch of other units, and I think one other unit. These ones also get a 6, so he hits three teams with a 6. And I put down some fire and smoke marker, and as you can see, here a bunch of guys got wiped, here a bunch of guys got wiped. They didn't get affected, and the IS-2 still burning. Yeah, but I think the Tiger, and we'll see in a second, is pinned up, so I guess he has now 4 pins, but we will see in a second. So German troops definitely advancing. They are all veterans and all Fallschirmjäger with stubborn, so they don't care. They are hard to kill, and they are very focused on the mission. As you can see here, the Tiger now with 4 pins on him, which is not good, but it is kind of fair that that happened. I'm glad, because otherwise the game would have gone very fast in a very bad direction for the Russians. So another dice, the Russians are pulling, and this BA can see through hard cover this drilling, I think it's called, or yeah, and he rolls a 3. The German rolls for hard cover, fails the hard cover, and then it gets penetrated and this thing blows up. German engineers go and barbecue some of the Russian scouts. I think 2 die. Again, should be in advance order here. And then another thing happens. So this is a truck. It's not a Hanomag. It's a truck. It's a soft-skinned. So the Russians, Alex snaps to and gets out with his comrade Frosty here and fires up a bunch of Fallschirmjäger, but they don't die easily to small arms fire due to their them being veterans. Again, he advanced, but now he's again. This is not the real deal. The real deal comes out now, and it's his Russian body armor engineers. They die only on a 6+, and one of them, I think this guy, has a flamer, or this guy has a flamer, I don't know, the one with the grenades. So he's now putting the flames on the Panzer IV. He gets D6 hits, I think 3 or 4 hits, and because the flamer, I think, hits the top armor, the flamer has penetration +2. This is a 9+. So it goes from pen 2 to pen 3, so 9 minus 3 goes to a 6-up. So on a 6-up he's glancing the tank, and I think he glances the tank, and something happens, but he doesn't, he glances it, and I think fire breaks out, or he has to go down, something like this, and then he takes D3 +1 hits or pins from the flamer, and then he has to do a morale test. And luckily, very luckily, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins are not enough to kill this tank. Rhino rolls and rolls a very low dice, and so the Panzer IV is standing, but is now seriously compromised. And as you can see, Alex has done the impossible. He has bogged down a huge part of the German army in turn 2 in their own table deployment, and yeah, that's not good. So the tank hunters approach the Kübelwagen, want to destroy it, but they do not manage to get a penetrating hit, so they have to fall back again. And this is how it looks from the top. As you can see, the Fallschirmjäger did shoot up the body armor officer's assistant. A bunch of pins, 1 pin here, 5 pins here, a bunch of pins on these dude, but they simply don't care because they have a 6-up armor, and yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. So as you can see, I pan a bit up to the map, and now the German drove their Strafbataillon forces towards the table, the middle of the table, and maybe this is also a good, yeah, this is maybe a good time to show you what the mission is. The mission is to take the church and 3 of the nearest building in the vicinity of the church. So this building, the church, and this building, and this building. So whoever gets the most kill points, and in addition 3 points for every building that you've taken, and you have to stay inside the building. So yeah, it will be pretty hard, but as you can see, 2 squads of Strafbattalion now in the middle of the map. I don't know really what they're doing there. Alex didn't know either, but one thing he always knows is that his Russians need to move forward, no step backward. And we will see how that will play out. As you can see here, a bunch of German forces hiding behind this building, a bunch of Russian forces right here, the Tiger pinned up, and heavy mortars from both sides shelling the whole place. These are the buildings that need to be held. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is how it looks right now. So what's next? Definitely looking beautiful, and as you can see here, smoke. There should be 2, 1 smoke here, another smoke right on the top of the building. We're waiting for artillery strikes and also a Russian airplane to come in, but the artillery strikes are getting delayed in turn 3. So everybody lost each side lost 4 dice, and the Germans have 2 artillery strikes on the field, but they're not coming. The Russians are waiting for the airplane, it's not coming. So the slugfest needs to continue, and as you can see, the Russians pull the first dice. Again, I think they activate 2 units. This guy puts another pin on these guys or tries to shoot, and the body armor engineers barbecue the Panzer IV another time, and this time there's just too many pins on him. He takes the morale test, he fails and gets abandoned. So 1 heavy tank or 1 medium tank with Panzer Ace taken out, and that's very good. Russian mortars firing on the Tiger. We have a medium mortar here and a heavy Russian mortar also firing on the Tiger. As you can see, we're now dialed in on a 4. They didn't hit on a 5, but still the Tiger on 4 pins, but he's a Panzer Ace, he's veteran. So I think morale should be 10 or maybe even 11. And there's a company or platoon commander right here with a 12-inch bubble giving another bonus. And now the German heavy mortar firing at the last Russian remaining tank, hitting on a 5, and they hit on a 5. So what can I say? It hits the top armor. It is pen 3, pen 4 on a 9, so it's glance on a 4, I think. No, wait a second. It's a 9 on the top armor, and it's a glance on a 5, I guess. And yeah, I think he just does it. Rainer rolls a 5. He rolls a 5 to penetrate, and then on damage table he rolls another 5, and that's it. I mean, that guy's rolling like a Greek god today, and the Russians are pretty devastated. They're losing their spirit. And here, the Fallschirmjäger with the Panzerfaust doesn't need to hold back. No Russian tanks to be seen or armored vehicles, so he uses his Panzerfaust on the NKDV. They were a 5-man team, 12 inches. He makes it with a Panzerfaust here, and with pen +5 or +6, he just smokes one NKDV guy, and that's it. And so the Tiger wants to move now. As you can see, Russian mortars are dialed in on a 5, on a 4. He has 4 pins. He's just trying to advance and shoot to get out of this mess. And Steve rolls a double 1 for insane bravery. And man, the emotions at this point in the game store. And he clears all of his pins. He moves 3 inches away from the mortars. He's not dialed in anymore. As you can see, he moves right here. And he wants to shoot up a bunch of guys right here. As you can see in the previous turn, some Russian engineers with body armors and flamers tried to barbecue these guys, but Fallschirmjägers pretty stubborn, held their ground, and now the Tiger is trying to shoot here with his HE3 template and with his MMG, but the MMG doesn't scratch the body armor guys. The 5+ does not hit, and so yeah, this is what it's like. And now it's turn 4, and as you can see, a lot of casualties on the Russian side. The Russians, I think, or Alex with his Russians, had 5 or 6 dices more, a couple of more small teams, and the German again very elite. And turn 4 will be the last turn that is played, because it's already late at night and the store has to close and we have the keys, and the next day we cannot continue to play. So it is said, let this be our last round. I think they were playing like up until this point 6 or 7 rounds, but we did also eat a dinner kebab in the middle of the game, so it was pretty chilled. But now turn 4 is like, who can hold this building, the church, and this building down here, and also kill points will add to that. And as you can see, the Germans have 4 kill points more, And why all of these pins? The German artillery shelled down on the Russians, but also on its own men, as you can see here. It took a few lives. It shelled definitely a lot of pins. It also destroyed one of the buildings and made it a ruin. Still, if you hold this, you get 3 points, but as you can see, now it's a ruin. It's not anymore more a building. And then everything is burning, everything is pinned up. Another bunch of, I think a bunch of more pins, because yeah. So the middle is mostly Russian, but here and here there are some German teams. And now the Russian airplane is coming in, I think on a 4-up. And I had to Photoshop it in because Alex did forget his plane, but this is his plane. And so the Russian airplane is really, really good, because instead of hitting it just 3 times on a 5-up, and if the Tiger would have had a pin only on a 6-up, this heavy mother lover you have to hit 5 times on a 5-up if you have a pin on a 6-up. So the German Tiger only one in reach with a flak, and it's shooting 7 shots at this airplane and just rolling two 5s, so it's not enough. So the airplane comes in, and as you can see, the airplane usually produces 6 inches from the middle, pins to where it comes in, and also it pins where it is dropping the bombs, so like an artillery strike, and it's hitting this unit. So we put down the pins, and then Alex rolls for a heavy bomber, so it's HE3 or HE4, I'm not really sure, I think it's HE3. And then he places it on the unit, but he also wants to get the Tiger underneath the template. And so the question was, how do you have to place the template? What's the right way? What does the rule say? So we had an English rulebook, then we had a German rulebook, and the German rulebook, I think they worded it a bit better. But as we read it, it was like you have to put the template on the target unit and cover as many as you can. So which we did, and which Alex did. And then he also managed to cover as many as he can and also touch the Tiger. And then the second question is, does he get a top, like a hit from the top, or does he just get a side shot? And we went for the side shot. So it is, I don't know, HE3 or HE4 with pen +1, or maybe armor -1 to the German armor for the Tiger. And yeah, so he rolls like a young god, and as you can see, everything is pinned up again. These guys went down, luckily, but they take a bunch of hits. I think something was also smoked, and the Tiger is again in pin land. So this is how it looks from the top. Everything's burning, everything is pinned up, everything is struggling, fighting hard, trying to get to the mission markers. And Alex at this point is just entering the buildings. So he's entering the buildings with these guys, but there are some German troops inside. They slay some of the scouts because they fight first. Then he enters this building, then he enters the church, then he enters this ruin. And what happens then is he captures these points, and it looks like maybe it's a draw, or maybe even the Russians can win. The Germans shooting and lighting up everybody inside here. These guys are just some, I don't know, veterans, I think, inside here, but they get shot up, and as you can see, a bunch of dice they lose. And in the church there were also 2 units and 1 unit here, and Rainer manages to do the impossible. He shots his heavy mortar onto the church. He needs a 6, he rolls a 6 to hit. Sadly, or maybe unlucky, the church has just 1 floor, so it's not 2 floors or 2, in German say Etagen. So it drops through the roof into the church. They get 2d6 hits and he wipes 2 Russian units that are inside here. And the Russians lose these guys, they lose these guys, they have these guys, so they claim 3 points. The German claim 3 points and they lose like 6 points. And so I don't know if that would have helped here to the kill point. 6 dice, let me see, like these are 8. So here, and then 6 more. No, it would have been close, like the German forces would have taken then still 3 points more. And so this game ends. I hope you had a good time. We had a great time. Would have loved to see this game until the bitter end, but yeah, we did play 7 hours. That's, I think, enough. It came to a conclusion. The Germans won, and I think in a month we will play a rematch and I will assist Alex with my partisan forces, or maybe British forces, American forces, but I think the partisan forces will fit the best on the Eastern Front. And let me know if I should take a Stug inexperienced or a Panther inexperienced or some German tank, or if I should go full terror with trucks and cavalry from the sides and all of that good stuff. So I hope you have a great day. There are many great systems out there and Bolt Action is one of them. I like that it's affordable, I like that it looks good, I like that it respects the intelligence of the player and the player base. And see us in the next video and have a good day. See ya.